You're welcome back. This is the big issue on 97.3 City FM. Just gone by as a discussion on the CJ. Lawyer Chris Akume sent a follow-up on the matter whether the CJ remains on the Supreme Court even if she's removed in the end. She says if she is removed as CJ, she remains as a Supreme Court judge, but may be taken out as a Supreme Court judge based on a fresh action, citing grounds relative to removal of Supreme Court justices. That's Lawyer Chris Akume's contribution on that one. You can send your comments also to us on the numbers displayed on your screen, and we'll be happy to read them out to the rest of the world. Now, to the Tamale Teaching Hospital. This week, doctors at the Tamale Teaching Hospital embarked on a strike because they feel they were attacked by the minister in how the minister appeared at the hospital and the interaction with them. They didn't find it perhaps respectful of their professional background and the effort they seem to, or they claim they've been putting into their work in the face of difficulties. I mean, shortage of consumables, lack of equipment, etc. So the minister, upon some social media uproar on the death of a 31-year-old man that people think was medical negligence, went to the hospital unannounced with media. And when he got there, he was seeking to interact with people to understand what was happening, to see what could be done. It got to a point, the discussion degenerated somewhat. So the head of the accident and emergency unit and himself were found in a heated argument. People thought the doctor shouldn't have been speaking that way. Others also thought, no, he was the one in the middle of it, so he had the right to respond in that way. The Doctors Association of the hospital felt that their colleague had been attacked or disrespected in the full glare of the public. And so they laid down their tools and laid out some conditions that the minister should provide them with all equipment and consumables they need to work before they will return, and that the minister should also render an unqualified apology to them. The Yana yesterday intervened, and they are back to work, at least for emergency cases. Now, this is an interesting one. The minister has a duty to ensure there's public confidence in the health system, to also ensure that people feel that some authority has their back. The doctors also have a part to play in this. They also feel that they were giving up their best in the face of challenges, lack of facilities, lack of consumables, etc. To the extent that sometimes they have to use their money to buy water to use at the hospital because of the water problem in the Tamale metropolis. Now the patient too, the patient died. The family is grieving. The family thought that things could have been done better. All three facets of this discussion or of this matter appear to have some good grounds. But why has the matter degenerated this much? What happened? What could have been done better? That is what we have now. So the striking doctors have resumed their emergency services following the visit of a delegation from the overlord of Dagbon, Yana Abubakari Muhammad II, who appealed for calm and a return to duty. However, outpatient services, including OPD and specialist consultation, remain suspended, leaving many patients without medical care. Our Northern Regional Correspondent, Shawana Yusuf, reports.
The minister's unannounced visit to the Tamale Teaching Hospital came in the wake of mounting public outreach and viral social media reports accusing hospital staff of negligence that allegedly led to a patient's death. What was meant to be a fact-finding mission quickly escalated into a tense exchange between the health minister and the head of the emergency department.
You are behaving in front of me. So you can imagine how
I'm trying to explain.
You can imagine how
I'm trying to be
with this attitude even to your superiors, can you imagine how you deal with common people? And that's why it creates the problem. That's what will create the problem.
Shortly after the visit, the hospital CEO, Dr. Adam Atiku, was dismissed. Among those reacting is the Doctors Association of Tamale Teaching Hospital. The association condemned what it calls a misrepresentation of the facts. The Ghana Medical Association has also waded in, labeling the dismissal as an abuse of power and a clear violation of due process. They have called for an unqualified apology from the health minister.
We feel and we acknowledge the fact that the minister and the government, any government for that matter, has the power to appoint and dismiss any appointee for that matter. However, we feel that the due process should be done, especially when most media have reported that the person is being sacked on the back of the negligence and certain issues in the facility. How the consultant was treated was totally uncalled for. But there's no such conclusion to be made, that the fact that he's trying to explain, and if you watch the video carefully, the man was calm and tried to explain himself. And then the minister, accompanied by the MP, was then shouting at him, pointing fingers and other things. And I think that is unfair.
As tensions simmer, all eyes are now on the 3-member committee set up by the Ministry of Health to investigate the circumstances surrounding the patient's death and systematic issues at the facility. Meanwhile, President John Dramani Mahama has appointed Dr. Abubakar Bawa Abdullahi, a senior academic at the University of Development Studies, as the new CEO of the Tamale Teaching Hospital.
The minister's visit aimed to gain first-hand insight into the challenges health professionals face in the northern region, beginning with the Tamale Teaching Hospital, the region's main referral facility. Although the hospital has already launched internal investigations into the incident, the minister announced the formation of an independent 3-member committee to thoroughly probe the circumstances surrounding the patient's death.
You are behaving in front of me. So you can imagine how
I'm trying to explain.
You can imagine how
I'm trying to be as
I mean, with this attitude even to your superior, can you imagine how you deal with common people? And that's why that creates the problem. That's what will create the problem.
Speaking to the media, he extended his condolences to the bereaved family.
My surprise visit coincidentally met the unfortunate demise of, what's the gentleman's name? Salim. My condolences to the family. I have inquired from the CEO and other health professionals here. We are setting up a 3-member committee. I'm told that the facility has already taken steps to investigate the matter, but unfortunately they cannot investigate themselves. And therefore, I'm taking the matter up.
Health professionals at the facility voiced their frustrations over the inadequate medical equipment critical for both emergency and routine services.
When the people turn up at the various facilities, the relatives, the patient, they see you doing your best. Even if at the end of the day, they lose it, they understand that you have done your best. I'll beg of everybody, all the health professionals in this country.
He also decried the poor maintenance culture plaguing many public institutions, noting that it significantly hampers service delivery across the country. As part of a broader solution, the minister revealed plans to implement a new policy mandating that internally generated funds, IGF, be allocated towards equipment maintenance and infrastructure expansion in health facilities.
There will be a new government policy directive where a special escrow account will be created for all our equipment, so that we'll use that particular fund to replace or to maintain our equipment.
Even the minister, me, look at the way you are behaving in front of me. So you can imagine how
I'm trying to explain.
You can imagine how
I'm trying to be
how can you behave like this? So it means that you're doing worse things here. It means that you're doing worse things here.
Boss, please. Honorable, please.
I mean, even with your superiors, look at how you are arguing.
There's a problem here.
So if a commoner comes here, can you imagine what he
How can somebody talk to this man here? How will he be able to communicate?
How will he deal with
That's
it?
the problem.
Well, so that was, these were videos of happenings at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. The chief executive, subsequent to this, was relieved of his post. They say it was not due to this incident, but it was a discussion they were having long before this. The timing perhaps was the problem, but that's what they tell us, that it wasn't connected in any way. You can make your judgment. The gentleman in question, as far as we know, nothing has happened to him. The accident and emergency unit head, Dr. Valentine, so nothing has happened to him. But let me start off with you, Honorable Piakubi. This is a minister who appears to want to get things moving a certain way. And so he heard of the death of somebody, uproar on social media all over the place. Now he moves straight to the place to find out for himself what it is. The things have since degenerated or gotten out of hand. What's your thinking around how he went to the place and the matters that came therefrom?
Well, if it was not something that he wanted to do and it happened when he was there and he responded to the situation by going there, then let me commend him at least for the dedication to duty. He went there to see what could be done probably better to save the situation. But unfortunately, the approach when he got there probably resulted in the confusion. And I think that minister could also have done better by way of calling the health professionals into a meeting outside the full glare of the public. So, but again, we have to also accept the fact that he is a very youthful minister and trying to learn his job on the run. So it was not the best that we expected for him to have confronted the health professionals in public. But I think that his response to the situation was commendable. I'm sure that going forward, you also pick some lessons from what happened and begin to be more professional in his approach to some of these things. He needed to be briefed as to the situation on the ground and what caused this before probably bringing out their positions and advice. So out of the blue, we got there, and I think he got so sentimental because of the death of the patient. But I think that, albeit the association, the medical association, and the minister, they must sit down and find the truth. Again, I don't think it is necessary just to fire the doctor, just also in the public or also in the media like that. It is improper. So I think we must let sleeping dogs lie and let the doctor come back to his post and continue. If there's anything that they need...
No, the doctor sacked is a chief executive of the hospital. He's a chief executive of the hospital.
It was premature for him to have...
So the discussion was ongoing before this incident?
The discussion to sack him was ongoing.
Yes, maybe they are resetting from the old regime.
You see, Honorable Akando is my very, very good friend. We share the same floor in Parliament. We are friends. I saw him the day he was going to Tamale. I was also at the airport. Oh. And he encountered some difficulty in checking in. And we had to bail him out to get out of there. I didn't know that he was going to cause that mischief. Otherwise, I would have advised him to stop. But if he went there to do what he did, then it was premeditated. And so he went there to humiliate the doctor in public like that.
I mean, to be fair, the discussion started quite well. But I think sometime along the line, they began raising their voices.
But I didn't see the doctor raise his voice. He was trying to offer explanation as to why it has happened like that. And I'm sure subsequently also, he gave out the expectations of the institution, what they didn't have in their work and what they needed the minister to support also. So, you know, if he went there just to cause the dismissal of that doctor, then, like I'm saying, it was premeditated. In fact, when it happened, and I came back, I was also going to Kumasi, and I came back the same day. So I realized that the mood in which he was, even traveling in the morning, suggests to me that he wanted to do what he was going to do, what he did, because he was in a hurry. He was not stable. He appeared to be angry, and
because somebody had died, and it was all over the place on social media.
Is it the case that the person died when he was in Accra, or the person died when he was in Tamale?
The person died when he was in Tamale, the minister.
So then,
he was going there because of the uproar. The person had died, so he was going there as minister to see what happened.
Oh, is it the case that everybody who dies, a minister will have to follow?
But it's not every death that causes uproar. I mean, we have this once in a while.
You see,
you know.
I'm not a professional in the area, so, but again, my son is a medical doctor. I know what they go through. Sometimes we come home and they cannot even sleep. You understand? So you also have to understand them. Sometimes they have a lot of frustration. He comes home and he's also not stable. You understand? So you have to understand every job has its own frustrations. So it is important that as a minister, he should also have been a bit more decorous in handling the situation. I'm not sure he himself, looking at it a second time, will appreciate what happened and, you know, want to defend it. It was in bad taste. Whatever the situation, as a minister of state, you get there, you should have found a better way of handling the situation.
I see. Honorable Amaliba,
I think let cool heads prevail. I know Akando well, and he also knows him. He's a very respectful person, I know. I know that for a fact. But in the heat of the moment, some of these things do happen. We all find ourselves in such a situation. I think both Akando and the doctor.
So why would you not give him his title and you call him Akando and you call doctor something?
We're at first, we call each other first name. So the minister, both the minister and the doctor had one common interest, but the approach didn't go well. I think that where the minister flared up was when I think the doctor made a comment to the effect that this is overblown, or it is going to be, I don't know, he captured something like that.
Yes. He said it's been blown out of proportion.
I didn't see it here. And that is where Akando said, people have died and you are saying blown out of proportion? So that was the departure point. What I think is that now that there are some days having passed, I'm sure cool heads will prevail now. I didn't support the doctor's strike when they said that he must apologize before they come to work. I don't think I equate human life.
Did you support the removal?
I'm making my submissions. So I didn't support their strike when they said that he must apologize before they go back, because I think that they can't equate apology to human life, particularly where the strike took place. Emergency ward. The name emergency will tell you that it's not a child's play to be there. And don't also forget that is where the death took place, the same place. And you are now withdrawing services. So more should die. On the issue of, and he talked about it, he thought I'm not going to mention it. On the issue of the removal of CEO, why? Who doesn't know that we are in an era where CEOs are being changed? So it would have gotten to him.
The timing.
It would have still gotten to him.
But the timing of it.